Good evening, YouTube. You join me not in the frozen workshop, but down in the toasty boiler room, trying out a new filming location. My dog thought it'd be swell to go ahead and eat my old everyday carry flashlight, and it unfortunately did not survive. The flashlight broke too, so anyway, Merry Christmas to me. Less than 25 bucks on Amazon, available in a kaleidoscope of colors to fit your persuasion. Blackware's the best, so that's the thinking man's choice, but I'm rich enough to pay people to think for me, so until the 24 karat gold-plated version comes out, I decided to slum it with this gunmetal silver. Here we go. At least it's not cold. Simply unscrew the collar to charge it. No rubber flaps to break off. And no telescoping sliding cap to loosen up over time to the point of incontinence. This is actually the world's smallest flashlight to be equipped with onboard charging circuitry, according to a stat I made up for the purposes of this video. It's got an O-ring to keep dust out, and maybe water. We'll see about that. It claims to be IPX8 rated, good for 2 meters, whatever those are. I'm just going to chuck it in the pond. This isn't the flashlight you eat for dinner. It's the little flashlight that you catch and you use as bait to catch bigger flashlights. Alley-oop. I don't know how this machine works. My dad never taught me. Here we go. I'll let that marinate for 30 seconds or so.
20 minutes later.
Yeah, alright, let's see what we caught. I don't feel anything big. But the light still works. So feel free to take it on your fishing trips. Just not as bait. The old rule of 50-50-90. You know, with micro USB, you got a 50-50 shot. 90% of the time you'll be wrong the first and second time, and you'll get it on the third time. No longer applies because praise Jesus, it's USB-C. So higher current capacity than micro USB 2, so it'll keep that little 14400 battery charged faster. It looks like it might be too heavy to use as a hat light, but it's a featherweight. You really won't even notice it's there. It weighs in at a scant and suspiciously precise 35 grams. To put that into perspective, that's the same as 6 American quarters. Or 7 of these weird Chuck E. Cheese tokens. It's a double clip, so it also fits on your belt loop, or your range bag, or anything else you want to strap the little guy to. The UI is stupid simple. 1 click turns it on low, 2 clicks for turbo, and 3 clicks for the seizure mode. As a breeder, my favorite feature is the lock mode. If you press it to turn it off, just hold it. It will then lock the light out, presumably so it doesn't come on in your pocket and accidentally drain the battery, but I like to think it's to thwart my 4-year-old from leaving it on all night after he gets bored playing with my goddamn flashlight. Long press again to unlock it. The tint from the SST20 emitter is a little bit green at low levels. I don't know if that's because of the chip or because of the driver circuitry, but it's nice and white on high. Looks solidly between 5 to 6K to me, so if you prefer a warmer light, the Archer Mini probably isn't going to butter your parsnips. It has a TIR lens, total internal reflection, so all of the light bounces off the reflector before leaving the lens. It makes it much more focused, collected, and controlled than a straight-up reflector, which just kind of farts most of the light out. The throw on this thing is incredible for such a tiny little light. Every time I turn it on to turbo, I'm subconsciously bracing my hand for a recoil.
Get out!
They claim 7.5 hours of runtime at 18 lumens and 52 minutes on high, although only the first 2.5 minutes of that 52 is actually the 405 lumen turbo mode. It steps down a bit after that, so it doesn't overheat. Are those claims accurate? Hold on, baby birds. I'll feed you. Here's 18 lumen mode. Target is 7.5 hours. And go. That's an honest 7.5 hours of usable light, but it doesn't totally throw in the towel for another 2 hours. Here's turbo mode. It makes light for 2.5 hours, but it loses its gumption after just under an hour, so I'd call that accurate too. I'm not noticing the familiar low voltage cutoff that you see in all my other lithium-ion flashlight reviews. On the one hand, I like being able to use it until it's dying gasp. On the other, well, if you know anything about lithium-ion cells, you need to keep them above a certain cutoff voltage if you want them to, last. If you give a mouse a runtime test, he's going to want a recharge test too. For the price, this little guy kicks ass. It's easy to use, it's well made, and way better throw than I was expecting. Downsides? First, I've been carrying this on my belt all week, and the lock function is about as effective as a Middle East peace talk. Every time you bend over, just when you think it's gonna work this time. Still, at least the kids won't figure it out. Also, the built-in battery is probably a deal breaker for some purists out there. The battery's actually glued in and hard soldered to the driver board. There's no spring contacts or wires, so any attempt to unscrew the housing and replace the battery is going to F you in the A and ruin the flashlight. Now, personally, I think that guarantees a stronger battery to driver connection, which is worth it to me, but this flashlight is 100% no user serviceable parts inside. Check out the Streamlight MicroStream if you're into that. There's also nowhere to put a keyring on it. If that's something you value in an EDC, if you don't mind plastic bodies and rubber flaps on your charge port, then the Aurora A1 has a keyring, and it's even brighter still. Thanks for watching. Oh, got a nibble. Oh, it feels big. Oh, gonna need a net. Oh, it's just garbage. Yo. Is that my flashlight?